Cut it off kind of short, but hi everybody.
It's okay,
we
Jeff. We in the building. How are y'all? We missed y'all.
welcome back.
We're
The
yes, yes, we're back, and I'm pretty excited about this topic. I feel like a lot of people struggle, so I'm glad to be back. I'm Stephanie, and this is Nisha. If y'all are tuning in for the first time, and welcome to Raising the Bar podcast. And like, share, and subscribe. You'll see it down there at the bottom. Check the link at the bottom. Come show us some love, and we'll keep this train moving. So today we're talking about purpose, and it's kind of near and dear to my heart because people are so important to me. I have different love for people. I mean, I don't always like them, y'all. I'm probably just like y'all. I want to be at home in a cave away from people just like everybody else. But I feel like I have a different calling, and I'm called to people and a little bit more patience than most people have with people. They're like, how do you deal with that? I'm like, you know what's funny? I didn't even see it. I didn't even see that, So it's really nice to kind of share with y'all how I feel like I found purpose. So let's start basic, just like we're in class. Okay. So purpose is the reason for which something is done or created or total existence, one's intention or objective in life. So to me, what that means, my purpose is helping people. My purpose is making sure that my children are functional members of society. And a lot of people confuse purpose with, or mix, let me say, mix purpose with work. And that's not always necessarily true. I think sometimes we get our purpose. We do work to provide for our family, but that's not your purpose. And so it's like questions like, what do you like? What keeps you up at night if you don't do it? So if I can go to respiratory and I sleep real good at night, okay, like that don't bother me none. That's my job. I don't, I love it. I show my patients all the love, but that's not my purpose. That's not what I was put on this planet to do. What keeps me up at night is people in society when we can't function like brothers and sisters, or when we cut each other down to make it to the top. That's what keeps me up at night. So creating a community of people that believe in each other, that uplift each other, is what my purpose is. Nisha, what do you feel like your purpose is?
Good question. So, I my look on purpose is that, we can have more than one purpose and we can serve them simultaneously. We can fulfill some purposes and pick up new ones as we go on in life. I know some people think that, like, their purpose is like this one thing that they do in their life, and once they fulfill it, then life is over. And I don't think that that's always the case. Yes, there are people that are put here to serve one purpose, and when that purpose is fulfilled, they are called back home. But I think one of my purposes is, I'm a mother of three children. You know what I mean? I was put here to raise them, to love them, and to, raise them to be productive members of society. My bigger purpose in life, I still feel that I'm still figuring that part out. And the more that, I meditate on it, I feel that even trying to figure that purpose out is still part of my purpose journey, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I feel that everything that I'm doing right now, whether it be, going to work as a nurse, the interactions that I have with people, just things that I do in my everyday life when I learn new things, or, whatever it is, I'm still on my path to fulfilling my purpose. Have I realized it yet? I don't think so. But I do feel that I'm on the right path just by, just, I don't know, just by signs that God is giving me, makes me feel like I'm still on the right path, and he'll let me know when I'm not. So
He'll tap you on the shoulder like, "Excuse me, where you
yeah.
going?" And you're like, "Well, I thought I was headed down purpose lane, but clearly."
Oh, sorry. I
Huh?
think we were at the same time. My bad. What
No,
were we
it's
saying?
okay. It's like, it's lagging a little bit, and that could be me because 'cause I'm sitting outside on the patio today, but, keep going, keep going.
Mhm. Oh, no, I was saying, like, I guess, like, that's a good question to ask, like, how do you know that you're living in your purpose? Like, how do you know that you found your purpose? And how do you know that you're living in your purpose? Like, are there signs for that? Like, how do you know?
So to me, like it's like you said, you kind of have that feeling, that nudge. And again, I'm gonna go back to what I said. Does it keep you up at night? Like, what is that thing that if you don't do it, like if you don't help somebody, or if you like it, let's say there was somebody you felt like you were supposed to help that day and you didn't help them, and you feel that you're like, man, I probably should have helped them. I kind of feel weird. I don't really like how I feel. Next time, I won't miss that opportunity. That's kind of how purpose knocks on the door for you. You kind of feel like, man, this is good. Work is good. All this is good, but I'm not fulfilled. There's something right there sitting on my chest that won't let me really feel like I'm in purpose. Like you won't feel fulfilled. It's just like that longing, that feeling of like there's got to be more. And as you begin to unfold or unwrap your purpose, that feeling will start to subside a little bit. By the way, it comes back, because that means that, like you said, it's a journey. You have to keep going. This is not something you're going to achieve um overnight, I guess is the best way to say it. You're going
Mhm.
to keep climbing. The journey gets deeper and deeper as you begin to unfold, but God has to feed you just a little bit at a time. He feeds you for whatever you're ready for. So if you're just ready for helping patients, then that's all he's going to give you. And then when you're ready for a little bit more, like helping communities, then he'll give you that too. And you'll feel that in your heart. You'll feel that nudge that there's more. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to have a passion for it. Like you're going to have a passion for teaching. You will have a passion. And when I say passion, again, that feeling in your heart, that feeling of just like when you have a good man, when you got a good man and he doing what he's supposed to do, you feel like, oh, yes. It's just a snuggly, warm feeling that you'll get as you fulfill your purpose. And you can ask yourself, like, what is it that I'm passionate about? What is it that I love, that makes my heart smile? Not just the
Uh-oh, you cut out a little bit. You still there? Mm. Oh, I think she dropped out. So, um, I'll keep going, or I don't know if we can edit this since we're just recording. But yeah, she was right, trying to, when you're trying to figure out your purpose, like I know for me, it's like, God gives us gifts, right? There are things that, oh, is she back on? There we go. Are you back? I was over here like babbling, like, okay, dude, let me
hello. Oh
let
my
me
gosh.
doing.
Hi.
It's okay. All right, we I know it was like
It
you was
says
on a
I have,
roll.
it says, let me try this. Let me try this. Let me try this. Because it says
Like, oh, he's so cutting out. All right. But yeah, gifts. So trying to figure out like what your purpose is. Like, yes, it's trying to figure out what is that thing that drives me too, but it's also, trying to figure out like what your gifts are. What are you good at? You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
what
I think
talents do
that's
you
a
have?
good question right there in itself. What are you
Right.
good at?
What are you good at? Yeah. Like, like some people they're great talkers, right? Like they just, they just have, I don't want to call it a gift of gab because it's not always gab, like there are people who they have like incredible memories and they love to tell people what they remember. Like
Yeah.
that is a gift, you know what I mean? Like that is in the form of being like a teacher. You know what
Yes.
I mean? Like, you don't necessarily have to be like a teacher in the formal sense where you stand in front of a classroom and you do all these things. You may be just that person that people just come to and just listen to you because you have like all this knowledge and
Right.
and they give you
Right.
knowledge just listening to you and your experiences. And then you have people who are good with their hands. You know what I mean? Like they can just put things together, like, you know what I mean? They just like to build things. Or you have people who are just really like mechanical in their thinking, like they can take things apart and put them back together.
Yes.
You have
You.
people who
That
are
would totally be you. You like can
exactly.
pick it apart and bring it all back together, and you're like, wow, I didn't
Yeah,
even know that could happen like that. So keep going.
right. Oh yeah, like my son's like that. He like, he can get like a bunch of little parts. Like, like those little kits, the little car kits that come with all
Yeah.
these little parts. And I mean, he would just sit there and he would just put it all together. Like, I mean, he'll read the instructions, but it's just like it just comes so natural. Like he
Yeah.
just it's
It's
amazing.
called smart. It's called
Yeah.
smart. Not that I'm dumb. It's just that I have to work for my talents. You know what I mean? Like some people's talents, it's natural, and some people's talents, you have to work a little bit harder for, and that's okay. But it's just called smart, is what it's called, Nisha. Smart.
And it's like and then when you figure out what your talents are and then you become intentional about using those talents, that is when you step into your purpose. Like,
Yes.
there's Bible verse, Matthew 25, kind of down a ways. Me and my husband we were talking about a few weeks ago. And in there they were talking about what verse is it? Oh, let me look. It
Okay.
starts Matthew 25 verse 14. Yeah, go read it.
Let's see. I'll get it. Keep talking.
Yeah, so it talks about pretty much in a nutshell, five people are given these talents and they go out into the
Oh,
world and they use their talents and then it doubles, they double the money that they get.
yes,
They're able to bring
yes,
things.
yes.
And then one person has, he gives different people different amounts of talents, right? Some people get five, some people get two, some people get one, but everybody gets a talent, right? The one person that got one talent, they went and buried their talent, didn't do anything with it. So
Right.
therefore, they didn't recruit anything,
They didn't
right?
get nothing.
They
They
didn't get
didn't
nothing
get anything.
back, right? Didn't get anything back. And just by us, like, just talking about that verse, um, it led me to think about like, you have to use what you have. God has given
Yes.
every
Don't
single.
bury your talents. Don't
Don't
bury them.
waste talents, use them like he gave them to you to be used. And no matter how big or how small you think your talent is, it's still worth something. You can take your one talent and you can multiply it 10 times over, but you would never know how far your talents can take you if you don't use them. And that is a big lesson in purpose right there, at least for
No,
me.
that was
Mhm.
perfect. And I'm
Mhm.
looking at Matthew 25:14, and I like the verse that she particularly pointed out because it says, again, it will be like a man going on a journey who called his servant and entrusted his wealth to them. He's
Mhm.
on a journey and called to servant. We have to be servants, y'all. This the Bible. It's good.
Right.
And entrusted his wealth to him. So as we begin to serve others, as we begin to go on this journey of finding purpose, wealth will be entrusted to them. And I have some notes here. It says just this is goals over time. We start to build these goals over time. And a lot of times in this world, which I struggle with today, I'm struggling with is the time that it takes I want it to happen quickly, but that's the world we live in. So just learning that these are things that take time. Building your business takes time. Building your community takes time. Building your passion takes time. Like, you can't teach people what to do in 1 year. You don't have any skills to teach them that. But what you can do is take a class. What you can do is take a seminar that builds that somebody from somebody that knows more than you. And if you don't know, please don't copy other people. Okay. Spend some time alone, spend some quiet time. And that's what we're also afraid of here. And some people learn with loud things around them. That's the beauty of people, is that everybody's different. But spend some alone time asking yourself, what do I like to do? What makes me happy? What makes my soul smile? And don't say you don't have time, because all these freaking TikToks, you have time. Okay. You can spend countless hours on Instagram and Facebook, but sit down and say, what is my passion? What do I do well? Nisha's, these are good nuggets. What do I do well? What can I share with others, even if that's being a mother? So here's my example. It says, for my goals over time, it says, I will be successful. I will be a successful author. So how do I begin to build out being a successful author? First of all, I have to start writing a book. That would be the first thing, right? And then the second thing, as I begin to work into, look at other authors. What have they done to become successful? And what do I want the world to see from that? So that's step one. And then the next goal for me was be present, be a present mom. And sometimes I struggle with that because the bills take away from me. So how do I be more present? I could do the bills while they're at school. And then it is what it is. It ain't gonna change. Okay. So when they get home, I can let those bills go because I've done it while they've been at school. At 9 o'clock, it's bill time. So I look at my bills and I cry over them, and then I work on a budget, and then that's it. Let it go, and more present. So at that moment, when they come home at 3 o'clock, I'm not sitting down trying to do a budget and worrying, and not more present for mom, look at this, mom, look at that. That's just a goal. Okay. It's just one of the goals. And then here's the third goal. My overall goal to be more present would be work from home. So what do I have to do to reach that goal? So to be more present, to work from home, I might need another degree. So, okay, now what do I have to do? I have to go to school. I have to see what school would offer my degree, so that you just begin to step. And I think just putting one foot, I was going to make it hard, but let's just make this simple. Put one foot in front of the other and take one step after the other. And you're not going to be able to see the ground before you sometimes, but you're going to have to keep stepping into purpose. And today I am preaching to myself, because when I tell you, when those little levels, each level starts to diminish and you can't see the ground before you, you're going to want to turn around and you're going to want to say, maybe this isn't my purpose, but keep building it out. You won't know until you keep building it out. And how will you know unless you can't say that you're anybody without failure? That's impossible. You're not going to be able to complete any good thing without a failure. So, and you're going to learn from a failure. You're going to learn what not to do, and you're going to be able to teach somebody else if they want to listen, because that's what the biggest issue is that people don't want to listen. So you're going to be able to build that out with one step, one goal at a time, and make these 5-year goals, make them realistic so that you will want to keep going to the next level, and you'll feel that fulfillment. I keep saying that because that's how you'll know when you're on the right track, and you're praying and you're spending that alone time and saying, God, continue to build out, continue to give me the steps in the right direction, because I don't know where I'm going. Okay.
Right.
I have no clue.
And that unknown, and that goes into verse 25 when he talks about why he hid his talent. He said, I was afraid and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, thou art hast, that is thine. So because he was afraid, he chose to hide his talent. And you know what I mean? And that goes
into not to cry.
So you have to not be fearful and just know that you have this talent because God gave it to you. He didn't give it to you to hide it. So there's no need to be afraid of how the world is going to receive it. He gave
Right.
it to you because the world needs to receive it. So
Yes.
there's
You
no
need your
fear in putting
difference.
that talent out there, you
Yes.
know. So don't be afraid. Don't let anxiety get to you.
Yeah.
Don't let failure is what made, when you said about, that fear of failure, everything isn't going to always turn out the way that you
God.
think it is. You know what I mean? And just because it didn't turn out the way that you thought it would doesn't necessarily mean that it's a failure in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
God puts us on these journeys and we have these outcomes that we have for a reason. You know
Or
what I mean? If we do something and we're like, okay, I was supposed to go and get this done. Well, I did all this work and when I showed up, nobody was there or whatever the case. And you're like, oh my gosh, I failed.
yeah,
Like, oh,
not
no,
so. He
no
he.
lesson
You have
in
to build character.
build character. Exactly.
He
Exactly.
wants to know what you're gonna do in the good. And
Mhm.
he's like, oh, she's gonna pass the test. And what are you gonna do even when things are good? How are you gonna react to the good? Are you gonna be a butthole when everything is going good? Are you still gonna praise me when things are still going array? But you got this purpose because you can't sleep at night because you don't feel nothing else is right but this. And with prayer, you pursue that talent. You have said, this is my talent. I know without a shadow of a doubt. And let me give you a story. I have been pursuing nursing for I don't know how long. Okay. And I'm like, I know it's it because I got these goals, I got these dreams, and I've prayed about it. And I'm like, I ask you everything, Father. So what's up? What's going on? And it makes me want to go into it, I want to bury myself because not like blood of Jesus. I don't like the way that sounded. I want to
I get
turn
you.
around. I'm like, oh, I don't like that. Okay, but I want to turn around on this journey because I've been applying to nursing school and every year it's something different. Like I'll pass one test and I don't pass the other test, or I'll pass this test and I don't pass that test. But I have to be a mom. I have to work full time. I'm called to this business. I know without a shadow of a doubt because everything worked out perfectly. And this is where I'm supposed to be. So I'm like, God, you answer my prayers. You hear me. What is it? Is it a time? So you have to wonder, is this a time? Is it time release? Can you do it? It's just not the right timing. It's not that you shouldn't do it. It's just not the right timing. So you start to learn, like, it's not that God said no. It's not that you're not on the right track. It's just the timing. And timing is about protection. You learn that your talents are released in a time release because it's about your protection, whether that's protection from people or protection from something that could happen. I might not be as ready as I think I am to be a nurse. I don't even know some basic stuff. I'd be like, what is that again? So God might be saying, hold on, give it a little bit more time. I need you a little bit more time to mature. And I'm not giving up on that dream as much as I want to because sometimes I'm questioning myself, like, did I hear you? Is that what you said? And you're gonna feel that. You're gonna feel like, is that really what I'm supposed to be doing? But when you knock on that door of failure, don't let it deter you. Don't turn back. Don't back down on what you're called to do because we need you to be different. We don't need you to be the same Instagram model over and over again. Nobody's impressed. Some people are called to modeling. Might not be you. You're going to know by your likes. Don't take it personal. But I'm saying just just
Hey.
just be different. Be who you believe you are called to be, not based on somebody else. And there is somebody that has, in that same breath, somebody has gone before you and will be able to show you how to do it. But you still add your own personal touch. Everybody, y'all see this finger? Everybody has a different fingerprint. Everybody. You know how many people in the world? So your business will have a different fingerprint. Your talents will have a different fingerprint. Everybody has a different touch. So don't take that for granted. Oh my gosh, I think that's all I
Yeah, that's good. That was
got.
good.
That's it. That's it. Don't be afraid. So let's recap. Don't be afraid of failure. Ask yourself questions like, what do I do well? What are my talents? Like, am I good at administration? Am I good at teaching children? Do I like children in my presence? And I'm just kind of going.
Because you gotta like them kids if you're gonna teach them.
Because so if you don't like them, if you're teaching and you don't like kids, this is a perfect example. Actually, that means you probably don't have a passion for it. That 9 times out of 10 is not your calling. That's just your job that you picked to provide for yourself. So let's be bold enough to go out there and find our passion, because believe it or not, that passion is going to pay you. That passion will pay you more than what that job will pay you. As you build it out. It's not going to be an overnight success. And I'm, again, preaching to myself. Okay. All right. I think this was good. Ask yourself questions. Don't be afraid of failure. And that fingerprint, everybody has something different. So give your own touch to that business. Give your own touch to that passion, that own touch to your Instagram, whatever you're doing, and give it your own special touch. Okay. Same time, same place next week. Y'all. So this is, Nisha doesn't know about this topic. It's just been on my heart heavy. I want to go ahead and go over it. If y'all have questions, if y'all want to like email us, please do. We're here for it. We want to hear from you. But grief is on my heart. So we lost my brother. Gosh, don't get me to lying. The months started running together. October or November, was it? I don't remember. But so, huh?
I think November. So
okay, yes.
Well, maybe November. Huh? I think November.
I think it was November too. It was around that time. I had so much
going on. I found out.
Yes. Okay. Well, I blacked out. I definitely blacked out. Honestly, I feel like I'm just coming back. I'm just coming back in a lot of ways. So I wanted to touch on grief because it will it's a dark place. And if you I listened to my mom, I've seen my dad, I've seen what they've gone through, I've seen my ex-husband, they have lost parents, and that's a grief that you don't want to deal with. And watching my bonus mom go through losing my brother, it's heavy. So just even kind of releasing where I felt grief took me, and just kind of talking about you not feeling alone. So next week we'll pick up on a heavy topic, grief.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see you next week. All right. Bye.